Hi, Robert. How are you today?
How are you?
Doing good. All righty. So tell me, what would you say is your main goal for this session? What would you like to focus on primarily?
I think continuing to work on the commercial voices. I recorded
Yeah.
the Nike one, but I feel like it's not there yet.
Okay.
Need to work on it some more to make it sound more natural. It kind of sounds like I'm a little self conscious when I'm reading it. I need to
Okay.
kind of get into it more, get more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Same with the other ones.
Okay. Absolutely. All right. So let's go ahead. And why don't you just let's take the Nike script and just go through it for me once. Just let me hear what you're doing with it.
Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Okay. All right, nice. So then, um, okay. What do you want it to sound like? Like, what do you kind of envision for this? What do you hear in your head that you're striving for?
Like a coach trying to get their team motivated right before the Super Bowl, that type of energy.
Love it. Absolutely. Yes. Awesome. So then, thinking of that, we're thinking of, you know, that pumping them up, um, getting them excited, right? Getting her like, the team, your team, you want them to be motivated, you want them to be energized, you want them to be probably like ambitious, you want them to be excited and ready to tackle this challenge. Yeah. And so I want you to try, let's go through and I want you to think of maybe challenging them a bit more to help them get more like pumped up and like, heck yeah, let's do this. So a little more of like posing a challenge to them.
Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Yes, awesome. All right. So then, um, yeah, I like that it has a little more of that challenge to it. I think also just like a little more high energy. So when we think high energy, I think a little bit faster, probably thinking of a little more like exclamation points on the sound. So thinking kind of like if you're, going to like a kickboxing class and you've got, like Taibo, you've got somebody like pumping you up, and you've got like driving music behind and everything. It's a little bit faster speed and that really like motivational kind of feeling.
Okay. Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Yeah, good. So then, awesome. I feel like we're definitely moving in the right direction here. So then, let's try. hmm, let's try it now with. Do you want to sound like more mature and like strong? Do you want to sound more like youthful and outgoing? What are you kind of envisioning for like your character, so to speak?
Definitely more mature, like coming from like an experienced athlete's point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. All right. So a little more like mature, like you had a career in sports, you were successful, and then maybe retired from actually playing your sport and now you're a coach for the sport. So that kind of a feeling where it's like, it's that experienced, like seasoned player, right?
Okay. Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Good. Yeah, very good. It feels a little more like grounded and like anchored and just like stable. There's a little more stability there. I really like that. Awesome. So then, how did you feel about it?
I feel like it's getting better.
Nice.
I think just doing it a few more times so that it just becomes natural. Like at some point, I'll probably have it memorized, so I won't even need to look at the script, and that'll be more natural and flowing.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Very good. All right. So a little more natural, a little more flowing. I feel like, it could you could play it the opposite. Like it could be more like punchy kind of feeling, but if we want it to be a little more like natural and flowing, I kind of think of someone who's very like comfortable and at ease, that they're like, we got this, like a little more um of thinking of the phrases, the beginning and the ending of each connected thought and continuing that breath through. So let's go ahead and try that. Um, rather than like somebody who's boxing, it's a little more like, a figure skater, maybe a gymnast, like a sport with a little more finesse, or like maybe they're like a snow skier, and you see them do like a giant leap over a, huge ramp up and then they like go flying through the air and then they land it, like something that's a little more finesse to it. So let's go ahead and try that again with that assuredness and those smooth phrases.
Okay. Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals. Because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Good. What do you think of that?
I like it.
Yeah. So, thinking through everything we've tried, what are your favorite things that you've done and what do you want to keep? What do you feel like you maybe would kind of leave behind? What do you think it needs?
I think definitely keep the kind of like tone changes. I feel like there were a couple of run throughs where I was a little bit monotone with the first couple of sentences, and I want to move away from that and use more inflection.
So a little more of that like rise and fall, peaks and valleys. I like it. Okay. So let's go ahead and try that again with a little more of like the highs and lows, peaks and valleys there.
Okay. Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Excellent. What do you think of that?
I like that one. I think I like that one the best so far.
Good. Excellent. Yeah. So, what are you going to think of to kind of help yourself remember that and be able to record it like that?
I think first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to watch a couple of Nike commercials.
Yeah, I love that idea. Do a little bit of research.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and you could even think of specific athletes that you want to kind of emulate. So, who are some athletes that you can think of that like what they sound like, like Sean Johnson or, you know, thinking of maybe basketball, we've got like LeBron James or, If you think of different sports, who are certain athletes that stand out to you, like Michael Phelps in the swimming world, those people that really shine.
Yeah,
Um, Simone Biles in gymnastics is like huge here more recently. I mean, she's so impressive, so deserves it. Um, the sisters who play tennis, the Williams sisters,
yeah,
thinking of like people who are really iconic, famous sport people, maybe like Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis whoever he is. Those like iconic sporting people. Um, and if you think of like a certain person and their vibe, their energy, the way they talk, I think that might help to kind of have a clearer idea of what you want to do with it.
yeah.
So then, do you want to, do you have one in mind that you could sort of use?
I think the first thing that comes to my mind is Joe Montana, since he's like kind of been around a long time.
Sure. Yeah.
Super Bowl champ, multiple Super Bowl championships.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, or like Tom Brady, who's another Peyton Manning, like those really famous people. So I love it. So you've got like a clear idea of a person in mind. Um, you know, Football player, super famous, well-known, successful, confident, seasoned, imparting like wisdom to their team. So let's go ahead and try that then and see what we come up with.
Okay. Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Yeah, very good. So, how do you feel about that?
I like it. It felt good. I feel like it's coming together more. It's sounding more
Yeah.
like less self-conscious sounding.
Oh, yeah, that you get kind of stuck in your head and you're judging what you sound like. But when
Yeah,
you just think about them, sounding like that person, then you can just think like what would they do? And so you're so focused on this other person that you're not stuck on judging yourself, right? And as an actor, as a voice actor, we always want to be thinking ahead. We don't want to be trapped in what happened before previously. Yeah. We'll always be thinking forward. Yeah. So, who is maybe another person that you could emulate? Let's try a couple different ones.
Steph Curry.
Okay. All right, so let's try it.
Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Good. Awesome. So then what did you like best about this take?
There's definitely a bit of a different energy to it, more of like a
Hmm.
younger energy.
Yeah. Yeah. So then who's maybe one more person, another athlete you could choose?
Let's see.
I feel like you could also pick like a coach or like a sports announcer, somebody in that world.
Yeah, trying to think about back to the most recent Olympics.
Yeah.
That was,
Like who inspires you the most?
yeah,
Michael Jordan, right?
yeah.
Like in Space Jam. It's so funny. I talked to a kid about the newer Jam with LeBron, which I have not seen. And I was just like, this kid doesn't even know who Michael Jordan is.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'll try that with my thinking of Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they all have a little bit of a different kind of style to them. It's always your voice, but then the approach is a little bit different and
Yeah,
the energy is a little bit different. So,
yeah.
what did you like about this take? I always like to kind of reflect and go, what's my favorite thing about each of these character inspirations?
I feel like this is almost like kind of like in between the other two. It's like Michael Jordan's not as young as Steph Curry, but he's not quite as old as Joe Montana. So somewhere in
Hmm.
between, but still
Yeah,
like a very famous, like very successful
right?
athlete.
Possibly, like some people say he's the best basketball player of all time, you know?
Yeah,
So, I mean, some people say Larry Bird, some people say LeBron, different people have different opinions, but, to some people, he's the best, and Nike does have a whole shoe line,
yeah,
that's all his. So I could definitely see them having him do this.
yeah.
So, yeah. So if you kind of pulled your favorite thing about each of these three, first off, which is your favorite and why? And then if you were going to kind of keep one thing from each of those character inspirations, what would that thing be?
I think I like the Joe Montana one because it's like the most kind of like the older of the three,
Hmm.
and not necessarily the best. They're all good in their own way. They're all great in their own way, but I feel like that's just kind of like the energy that felt the most natural for me.
Yeah.
And I think I would definitely keep like the kind of like going faster, not as pausing as much since it's a
Yeah. I like
short
that.
commercial.
It
Kind of
kind of
going
feels
back.
higher energy and like more
Exactly.
momentum then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and try that. We're gonna redo it, but this time just kind of follow your instincts, learning from trying those three, and just dive back in.
Okay. Don't just run, fly. With Nike Zoom X technology, you'll break boundaries, push limits, and conquer new goals because greatness isn't given, it's earned. Nike, just do it.
Nice. Yeah, what do you think of that? I liked it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's got energy, it's got confidence, it feels like a challenge or like a call to action. It is very motivational. So, a lot of really good stuff there. I'm liking it. That was great. All right, so good. Why don't we try one of the others? Because you said there you wanted to try one of the others as well, right? That you felt
Yeah,
like maybe it needed a little tweaking as well.
yeah.
But they definitely, I mean, like this to me, I definitely hear that you've been practicing it. I can definitely hear that, the words and the phrases fit in your mouth a little bit better and like they're flowing a little bit better and feeling more comfortable. So I definitely can hear that you have been practicing. That's shining through. And so it's just really getting that polish, and just kind of you having that certainty that you know what you want to do with the script. So nice. That was really good. I liked it.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, so which one did you want to do next?
So next, I want to do the Ford Motors one.
Okay, great.
And with this one, a few years ago, there was this ranch for sale, and I saw an advertisement, and it was narrated by Sam Elliott.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of the energy I want to go for with this one. Kind of channel
Nice.
Sam Elliott, but within my own West Coast accent.
Sure. Love it.
Okay. And I feel like with this one, it's the same kind of thing where I feel kind of self conscious sounding when I do it.
Mm,
And I think
yeah.
because I haven't practiced it enough, it sounds kind of cheesy to me. So I want to like
Oh,
do it more so it gets natural and doesn't have that element to it, just more like flowing and natural and good sound.
sure. Okay, great.
Ford Motors. Ford F 150. Built tough for every job, every road, every challenge, every challenge. With best in class towing and innovative tech, it's the truck that works as hard as you do. Ford F 150, where power meets precision. Visit your local dealer today.
Nice. Great voice you created. That was awesome. All
Thank you.
right, so what was your favorite thing about that?
I think the style of vocalization I liked.
Hmm. Okay. Is there anything you would change about it? So we like the style, and I agree with that. I like it too.
I think I need to figure out where I'm going to have like the lift,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
scene. I think the built tough for every job, every road, every challenge should be the one with the lift at the end.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
The inflection raising there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna highlight that word.
Okay. Yeah, I like to make little marks. Anthony Hopkins, a really famous actor who is notorious for scribbling all over his scripts, like written all over the place. But I'll like underline things, I'll circle stuff, I'll put like a slash, I'll highlight things, I'll make little notes in the margin, I'll write like action words or like emotions that I want to remember.
Okay. Ford F 150. Built tough for every job, every road, every challenge. With best in class towing and innovative tech, it's the truck that works as hard as you do. Ford F 150. Power meets precision. Visit your local dealer today.
Okay, nice. All right. So, what did you think of that?
I liked it. The only thing I didn't really like was my lift. I feel like it doesn't sound natural yet. And I feel like I just need to
Uh,
practice doing the lift because I'm not
right.
used to doing a lift.
Right. You're used to, I mean, your natural pattern is descending at the ends of phrases, which is very normal for Americans. And, in Europe, it's very normal that there's a lift at the end, or like in New Zealand, they do that. So, certain places they tend to lift at the end of every phrase, but I find that it's the most interesting when it varies, where sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. So, having more of that variety. Another thing I was thinking is you can use your pauses a little bit more dramatically. So, think about like, if there's a comma, maybe it's a shorter pause. If there's a period, it's a longer pause. Um, if there's a question mark, scooping at the end, so it sounds more like a question mark. Really pay attention to those punctuation marks and utilize the pauses a little bit more.
Okay. All right. Ford F 150. Built tough for every job, every road, every challenge. With best in class towing and innovative tech, it's the truck that works as hard as you do. Ford F 150, where power meets precision. Visit your local dealer today.
Nice. Good. I'm curious what it'll sound like if we just like let you do your natural inflection once. Can we try that? Can I just hear it?
Okay. Ford F 150. Built tough for every job, every road, every challenge. Best in class towing and innovative tech, it's the truck that works as hard as you do. Ford F 150, where power meets precision. Visit your local dealer today.
Yeah, nice. I like it. I feel like you've got enough pitch variation, the highs and lows, those peaks and valleys. I think you've got enough of it. And I also think that these phrases are very much like declamatory. They're very much, we're telling you this is the way it is.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like that works really well. I think that you've got enough of the variation in your pitch that it works fine. You know, you're not monotone. You're not like Eeyore going da 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 da. I mean, you have like these sweeping like up and down phrases. So I think that works great. And if and it sounds, you know, like you were saying, it sounds like it feels more comfortable. You know, if you're doing something that just feels completely unnatural and you feel uncomfortable with it, that's gonna come across in the reading. So, you know, if you've practiced it quite a bit and you still are just like, this just doesn't feel comfortable. Sometimes what would be comfortable for one actor is going to be really uncomfortable for another, and it just doesn't feel authentic. And ultimately, you have to find, you know, tap into what you can authentically connect with in that script. And if you're like, I've tried these other tools and this one just isn't working for me right now, toss it. That's fine. You've got other tools to use and other ways to approach the script. And so, you know, you might have one script where that tool works really well for it. And then in this other one, you're like, this tool is not helping at all. Like, I need a hammer instead of a screwdriver. And that's okay, you know? So I like it like that. I think, you know, maybe you're trying to stretch yourself to do something that just like isn't clicking for you, and that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can keep it as, you know, an exercise to try, but then ultimately, after trying all these different exercises, after trying, you know, utilizing these different tools, for that final take, you have to go, okay, I've tried everything, I've learned from these exercises, and now I'm going to ultimately just like follow my instincts and trust them and you know read it and deliver it and do it with confidence and just follow your gut instinct because as long as you believe it, the audience is going to believe it too. So I feel like that last one, you know, the previous script that we were just working on, you know, ultimately the thing that makes it work is that confidence that you accessed. So if you don't have confidence in that script, the way that you're reading it, that is going to come across. We're going to hear that, and then we're not going to feel confident either. So ultimately, you have to be like, I'm going to, you know, do what I'm doing and I'm going to do it confidently. And I'm just going to, you know, read this script and deliver it. And, you know, if you believe it, so will we. So in the end, just trust your instincts. Okay. So is there anything that you didn't like about that? Because I honestly felt like it went really well. I felt like it carried, it was confident, it communicated, it had a style to it. Like I definitely think that that could be a usable recording. So, what did you think of it?
I liked it a lot better. Now that we've shelved the lift, it
Hmm.
sounds a lot better and feels a lot more natural to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. That, you know, if there will be scripts that, you know, that adding a lift at the end of a phrase will work really beautifully. And then there are going to be times where you're like, that is just not working for me right here. And that's okay. Maybe it works at a different point in the script. Maybe it doesn't for this script. I mean, also, I would say, you know, Ford is an American company, and we in America do tend to descend at the end of phrases. So I think, you know, you're probably not recording this for Japan, you know. You're probably recording it for Americans. So I think that would be just fine. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Do you want to try one more?
Sure.
Cool.
A different script.
Yeah. Do you have one or was that really all that you had that you needed to like clarify or work on today?
There's the Apple one.
Oh, yes. Okay, great. Technology,
Yeah.
computers. Perfect. A lot of really good contrast here with these. That's great.
Yeah.
We've got, you know, sports, we've got cars, we've got technology. So that's perfect. A lot of good variety.
Okay. Introducing the all new MacBook Pro. Powered by the blazing fast M3 chip with an edge to edge liquid retina display and up to 22 hours of battery life, work smarter, play harder, and create like never before. MacBook Pro. Innovation redefined.
Nice. Okay. Great. All right. So for this one, we're talking about like cutting edge technology and all these improvements to the device. And, we're hoping that the people who already have a Mac are going to trade in and upgrade to this one. We're hoping that we can convert some, PC users to Mac with this. And so, we want it to be like, guys, there's nothing like this on the market. And I think of it too because it is so like cutting edge and it's new technology, probably a little bit more of like a youthful, high energy kind of a feel. If you think of like going to a conference and, they're doing presentations and they're pumping everybody up, like if you've ever, been to like a technology conference kind of thing, thinking of just that kind of high energy that they have, and they want to sell you on it, they want you to believe in what they have. Um so I think a little bit faster paced, thinking a little bit more like youthful, high energy, excited about this. You can't wait to share this with them, and that they're going to love it as much as you do. So that kind of energy. Can we try it again?
Okay. Introducing the all new MacBook Pro, powered by the blazing fast M3 chip with an edge to edge liquid retina display and up to 22 hours of battery life. Work smarter, play harder, and create like never before. MacBook Pro, innovation redefined.
Cool. Awesome. Good. What do you think of that?
I think I liked it better.
Okay, nice. So what did you like better about it?
I was just kind of more straightforward thinking
Yeah,
about it. Like, no, this is the best. It's like no doubt about it. Like, you will not
right.
find
There's no
anything
question.
better.
I love that. Yeah, that and and two, if you think of if you are somebody who's like the computer programmer or you're the person who's, doing the build, if you're the person who put it all together or led the team, you are going to be someone who's a little more technical. Maybe you're an engineer, maybe you're, a programmer. And so that personality would be a little more technical, clear, concise, informative. Yeah. So I like that. I think that works great. So channeling your inner nerd and
Yeah.
owning it, being like, "Hey, nerds run the world." All right, so let's try that one more time, with the like, I created this amazing thing just for you kind of vibe.
Okay. Introducing the all new MacBook Pro, powered by the blazing fast M3 chip with an edge to edge liquid retina display and up to 22 hours of battery life. Work smarter, play harder, and create like never before. MacBook Pro, innovation redefined.
I love it. You had a one mo moment like when you were talking about the battery life that you're like, no way, like this can't even be real.
Yeah.
But guys, it is. I love that. Yeah, that came across really beautifully. Yeah, and I kind of think of it as like, what kind of people usually use Mac as well. Usually it's more like creatives are using it, people working on film or music or photography. Um, tend to really like it. I feel like they kind of like target and cater with like their programs and whatnot. And so I feel like leaning into that a little bit more as well, that it's like you can take it anywhere with you. You don't need to bring your charger. It's slim, it's fast, it's everything you need as a creator. Um, and so just really bringing that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that worked really nicely. Um, what if we think of like, I don't know, like maybe you're like the commercial, it's like at a coffee shop with a bunch of hipsters, and you're like, guys, you need this. So, kind of thinking of your target audience here, like freelancers in New York City kind of vibe.
Introducing the all new MacBook Pro, powered by the blazing fast M3 chip with an edge to edge liquid retina display and up to 22 hours of battery life. Work smarter, play harder, and create like never before. MacBook Pro, innovation redefined.
Nice. Cool. What do you think of that?
I like it.
Perfect. Great. So, is there anything you'd want to change about it? Like, do you feel like you want to channel a certain like dialect with it? Do you want to have a certain kind of like character with it? Like, this is like somebody who does parkour and like skateboards around the city? Is it somebody who is, traveling the world doing skydiving in different places and they like freelance and, live on the road? Are they part of like van life where they're like hiking and exploring parks all the time and they want like freedom? Are they somebody who is trying to like do a passion project, like develop a new app that they're really passionate about, So, um, what do you think of as like your character that you've kind of created for yourself here?
Comes to mind is maybe someone who works for tech and is an avid paraglider on their days off. I know these people who work in tech industries and they travel around the world and find like the best paragliding spots. And
Sure. Yeah, I love it. Great.
okay, introducing the all-new MacBook Pro, powered by the blazing fast M3 chip with an edge-to-edge liquid retina display and up to 22 hours of battery life. Work smarter, play harder, and create like never before. MacBook Pro, innovation redefined.
Nice. Good. Yeah, and you sound really enthusiastic about it. I think it's great. So I would love for you to try um, recording these three this week and then maybe try to find some royalty-free music that you could put in the background for the clips. And then we can use those clips then to piece together a reel.
Okay,
Nice. Awesome. So how many commercials do we have at this point? Just these three, or do we have others
we have
ready to
five.
go? We've got five. So we could use that then to make a reel. I think that's enough. So I think we've got enough variety there. We could definitely do that. So if you want to record these three this week and then try to find some royalty-free music that we could use in the background. And then, and then we can go ahead and piece together that reel next time.
Okay,
Perfect. Awesome. Great work today.
thank you.
Oh, my light like flickered. That was weird. Maybe it needs a new light bulb.
Yeah.
But yeah, so great work. Get those recorded and we'll start putting together your finalized clips and reels then.
Okay,
Nice work, Robert.
thank you.
All right, I'll see you soon. Have a good
Okay,
rest of your week. Bye-bye.